Afternoon, everyone. This is Tony from our Homestead Skills, and well, I have completed the medical exams that my doctor had decided I had to do. So the last two were today. One of them was a mammogram, which I absolutely despise, and the other one was the bone density. And I'm under the impression that the bone density is going to give me some feedback that I probably don't want, but at my age, we almost have to expect it. Now, I did put on a dress, and I am going, I did go over to the thrift shop after that. Briefly, saw nothing of interest. Actually, I saw a sewing machine. I do have one here, and I may purchase a second one to take to Alabama. The one I have here was an expensive one, but I probably, anyway, I'm not prepared to be doing a lot of sewing there anyway, so it's not it's not something urgent. As you can see, perhaps I have begun taking a bit of the fencing down from my allotment garden. I do have a little bit of fence that I have set up on my balcony as a means of allowing climbing things to grow on it, and well, there we go. I did plant some of these Louisiana purple pod bean seeds in a pot on this deck, and they're doing amazingly beautiful. So hopefully they will climb up on this and grow. And I've also, when I saw how well they were doing there, I planted some more in a second pot. I have some parsley growing here. I threw a few more seeds in there. This was, believe it or not, a tomato plant that did better on my balcony than it did in my garden. The bunnies ate every tomato plant in my allotment garden. So this is going to be my garden. I'm going to set up a secondary trellis type affair on the other end of the balcony as well. So I'll have makeshift gardens on two sides here. And, I can have somebody come here and water these outside plants for a month in the summer when I'm gone, or I can just line them up against the balcony railing. And it's a good possibility the occasional rainstorm will be enough to keep these plants alive. Anyway, that's it. Now I'm going to go in and put on some jeans and get prepared to take apart my allotment garden. Pulling up stakes today and rolling up fences. Okay, well, I have cleaned myself up and I've gone shopping. Needed a few things. But for the last 2 days, I have been dismantling my allotment garden. So it's the end of an era. I have gardened there probably for close to 7 years, but it was time. I recognized that the last 2 summers, it's been a total flop. Literally, because even though I planted it, and then I went to Alabama for the summer for a month. I don't think I went that long last year, but this year we were away for 6 weeks. And by the time I got back, I had 2 cucumbers. All my tomato plants were gone. So between the critters and the weeds, nothing grew. So I recognize that it's almost pointless to try to maintain that garden. I will, and I can't live without growing things, so I am establishing a very small garden on my balcony, which is fine. It'll be something for the couple of months that I'm here, and we do plan to go away at least 1 month down south, cut the lawn, keep an eye on things, make sure that if there's any branches down that we remove them. There's a lot of storms down there. Even after we came back, we've barely been back, not quite 2 weeks, and I know that there's been a number of rainstorms and pretty hefty ones because we can see them on the camera. So, but because of where the cameras are focused, we have no idea if all the trees have, any of the trees have suffered. We do have our neighbor also keeping an eye on the property, and the big thing with him is to let us know if anything falls on the house. If a tree falls on the house, because there's trees all around it. But if anything falls on the house, to give us a call, obviously, and we would make an unexpected trip to go down and deal with it. Hopefully we don't have to. Mark did take out one of the limbs that was over the canopy. It wasn't a heavy limb, but it was, you know, when the leaves grow, the tree becomes heavier. It was higher before, but it's fine. You know, we'll probably have to keep trimming limbs close to the roof for the next few years, but we'll see what happens there. Also along the driveway, yeah, we need to trim a lot of trees, but that'll come. That's probably more of a fall job than a summer job. So anyway, yeah, I have been very busy dismantling, pulling up T-posts, cutting away the fencing that I had attached to the T-posts, and I'm hoping, well, at this point I've done it for the last 2 days. So I'm hoping at this point that when my son decides to come down and visit, that he can bring them down the 7th floor house, because the 7-foot T-posts are way too long to put in my car or Mark's car. So, I mean, it was one thing just to bring them someplace to store them, but to actually have them in the car for 15, 16, 17 hours would just be absolutely miserable. So, okay, so that's a job that's almost completed. Now I'm going to have to settle in for a few months. We do have to spend 6 months here as well as 6 months down south, so better to make the best of it. And I'm going to probably get into some canning and some cooking and do those videos that I'm accustomed to doing. And somebody asked me if I would do a pizza video. We could do that. I'll probably make some more homemade pasta. It's been a while since I've had homemade pasta. We certainly, I have all the tools and all the equipment that I need to do that. I'm sure I could make some down south as well, and that'll come. But right now, that house is more of a renovation job than it is a cooking, canning, gardening, although we're going to try and do some gardening there too. But hopefully we'll get into some more canning and cooking here. So make good use of that time. Anyway, that's where I've been, so still keeping busy. Anyway, this is Tony from Her Homestead Skills. Talk to you real soon. Bye for now.